Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another prom tutorial for you guys, and this is how to get that flawless stay all day coverage. This is a tutorial just for face makeup for prom, so if you guys would like to see this, please keep watching. So for some reason before I started this video, I saw my big zit on my head. I've been breaking out a lot recently, I don't know why, but I decided to pick at it and right before this video. So that'll be good because if you guys have blemishes you want to cover up, I'll show you how to do that. This is just a perfect example. One of the most important things for prom is color correcting. This is basically what I'm going to start with before I go into any makeup products. So this is technically skincare. The only two products that I actually have on my face for skincare right now are the Origins Ginzig Eye Moisturizer, which is great, by the way. It'll really help brighten your eyes up. And then on my face, I have my Olay Henriksen Oil Balance Corrector. So if it's a hot day, I definitely recommend that so you don't sweat at all. That really helps to prevent you from getting oily. I actually just put mine on, so I look a little oily right now. Plus my skin's been a little weird lately, so I do look oily, but that definitely helped. So I'm gonna start with two color correctors. The first one is my Stila One Step Color Correct. This will go all over my face. The next one is my Dior Fix It Color, and this you can put all over your face if you want. This one I use strictly underneath my eyes. Sometimes I use it on the side of my nose when it looks especially dark, so today might be the day for that. First I'm gonna start with this one, and like I said, I just put this wherever I think my face looks a little dark. You can use your fingers to blend this in. You can use a sponge or a brush if you prefer. I generally use my fingers just because it's just the easiest thing. Gosh, this is horrible. I don't know if it looks as horrible on camera as it does in my mirror, but oh my god, it's so red. This is a monster. Now I'm going to use the Stila One Step and just apply a little bit on my fingers, and I'm just gonna dot it all over my face and just blend it in. This stuff I like to apply before I put on my primer because it just settles right into the skin and it instantly helps take away some redness. It won't right now just because I really rubbed it in there, so my face will look red for a few minutes, but it will help with all that redness and just help equalize the overall skin tone. If you're especially red-cheeked, which some days I can be very red in the cheeks, a favorite product of mine is the Bésame Color Corrector. It's a brightening vanilla powder. It is great for color correcting, as I said, and also for shininess, or to eliminate shininess, so this will help if you're oily as well. And this I like to put on before the primer as well, because this is another one of those things that it just helps to do early on. So you just take a little bit on the pad and dab it wherever you think you need it on your face. This stuff smells so good. It literally smells like vanilla ice cream, I think. Now that the color correcting is done, I'm going to go in with my primer. I'm using the POREfessional primer. This is great for prom. It says it right on the package, but it really does help to minimize the size of your pores. There's nothing like this primer to me. I feel like this is really one of those one-of-a-kind primers. I've used so many, and this is by far my favorite. This is one of those products that you do have to sweep kind of in one direction. I mean, again, I'm just using my fingertips, and because I use my fingertips for so many different products, I do keep makeup remover wipes handy, because when it comes to doing some later steps, sometimes you don't want any residue from other products on your fingers, just because you don't want it to mess with your overall face or whatever you're working on. Now, so I've done a lot to prevent oil, but what I also don't want to look is dry either. So while you don't want to look oily, you do want to make sure that you're well moisturized. So a great tip that I learned is actually mixing a little bit of a hydrating moisture with your foundation. So the one that I'm gonna be using is the Dr. Jart Plus Water Drop Hydrating Moisturizer. This is a favorite of mine. This does not have sunscreen in it, so if you want something with sunscreen, by all means, do something like that, but this is just really moisturizing, so this will help with my foundation. I have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. This is a new favorite of mine, and I have it in the shade Y2 255. I don't know why it took me so long to think of how to say that. The best thing to do to use these at the same time, I used to try and mix them in my hand, but it never really worked very well for me, so I'm actually just gonna take my moisturizer and just put it in the main spots of my face. Again, don't do too much, as it will look too oily or too shiny, and that wouldn't be good. So if you just put a little bit where you think you really need it, and then put your foundation almost right on top of it. I don't know if that's on top. I can't see in my little camera. I gotta look at my mirror. Quick note about this foundation for prom. This will probably be your best friend. This is the perfect stay all day foundation. This is not going anywhere. Regardless of what you do afterwards, this color stays on me all day. I absolutely love this stuff. And it's good because it won't look like you baked it on there. You won't look like you're wearing too much makeup, but it'll really give you that really pretty finish and your color won't fade. So this is a really good product if you're looking for something like that. So before I go in with my beauty blender, I'm actually just going to massage the moisturizer and the foundation in just a little bit before I go in, because I don't want to get straight moisturizer on my beauty blender. I want it to be already a little mixed in, but I found it difficult to mix it in my hand. Maybe that's just me, but you know. So to blend, I just have my beauty blender. I already wet it, so I absolutely love that trick of mixing the moisturizer because it feels so much better on my skin. It just feels so much more natural, like you're not applying a whole sheet of makeup. So it's just a really nice thing to do. I'm gonna be using 2 concealers today. A favorite of mine is the YSL. I have this in the number 3. This is a stick. It's like a creamy concealer. And the next one is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in light to medium honey. This is a liquid concealer. So I'm gonna use a mixture of both. I'm actually gonna go in with my YSL cream one first, and I'm gonna apply it in the same places that I applied the color corrector, which is on the side of my nose, underneath my eyes, and then I'm gonna also target these bad boys. That mountain that you can see right there, gonna have to do something about that. I think I broke out that same like day or the day before, and I was freaking out because who wants pimples at prom, you know? Oh, again, just using my fingers, the most sophisticated applicator ever. I'm only using my fingers for that because it's just a cream concealer. Doesn't really need to be blended all that much, I don't think. But now I'm gonna go in with the Shape Tape Concealer because this will help to brighten up really specific spots on my face that I want to highlight. This stuff you can pack on because it is so blendable. It's so beautiful. This is a new favorite of mine. So specifically, nothing fancy, does not look beautiful. Just put some extra under my eyes and then a little bit on the extra blemishes. I wasn't gonna originally do that, but they're so red, even still, even being under those layers of whatever I've done already. So I wanna make sure I completely cover them. And again, I'm just gonna blend this out with my beauty blender. Oh, if you get anything out of this video, which I hope you get a lot out of, but definitely something to get if you're looking for a good concealer. Get that Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Oh my gosh, it's like, there's nothing like it. I've never used a concealer like it. It might replace my favorite. God, this mountain is still like red. I've been trying to blend this for like 5 minutes. Now that I finished my foundation and my concealer, I'm just gonna go in with my Makeup Forever HD setting powder. If you want something that lasts all day and you want your foundation to last, which I already love that foundation because it does, this stuff makes a huge difference. So all I'm doing is putting a little powder on my Makeup Forever Kabuki brush and just dabbing it all over my face. So for bronzer, I'm gonna be using one of my favorite bronzers. I've used this for as long as I can remember. This is the Too Faced Sun Bunny. It's a natural bronzer and it's just a powder bronzer. This makes a really beautiful glow between the 2 shades in this little compact. You can use whatever you'd like. If you wanna do a contour, maybe use something a little bit more creamy. I personally like to use this as my contour. So because of that, I'm not really gonna apply this bronzer all over my face. I'm gonna be using my Sephora Pro Angled Contour Brush in the number 75. This just has the perfect tip for contouring. And all I'm gonna do is apply some product on here and tap off the excess. And then I'm gonna have to look at my mirror so I don't mess this up. And then I'm gonna grab it from where the top of my ear is, right underneath my cheekbone, and carry it down on both sides of my face. And then I also like to apply this just a little bit on my hairline, kind of on both sides, just to kind of define my face a little bit more. And then sometimes I like to carry it underneath my chin. So as you can see, it's pretty noticeable without blending it in. So it is gonna make a difference, but it's just not gonna be super, super noticeable, which personally, that's what I like for prom. So this other brush that I'm gonna use to buff it out a little bit and blend it, this is the Sephora Pro Flawless Bronzer brush in the number 46. This I like a lot because it's so condensed that I feel like it blends really, really well. Now that I finished that bronzer, I'm going to move on to blush. I'm going to be using my Benefit Dandelion brush. This stuff is perfect if you're looking for a really subtle cheek. I just think this is really gorgeous. It's really what you want it to look like. It's such a buildable blush. So if you want subtle, you can just do a little bit. If you want it to be a little bit more noticeable, it's a beautiful pink shade. So it creates like a natural flush, but it'll still be noticeable. So, and I'm just gonna apply this in the same direction, following the line that my contour was. So I kind of blend that into it as well. It comes with a little brush, so that's all I'm using for this. After I do the blush, this is generally when I move on to brows. Before I do anything with my brows, I'm gonna be using the Benefit Brow Conditioning Primer. This stuff is amazing. I at first didn't think that I was gonna get any use out of this because it seemed like it was just one of those things that I did not need. Who needs to prime their eyebrows? But you'd be really surprised on how much this actually helps whatever product you put on. I mean, they look different as soon as you even put this on. So if you want it to look super natural, this is just one step that you have to do. I know I reference natural a lot. That's pretty much what I like my looks to always look like, even though it is for prom. I don't want very defined eyebrows. That's gonna be what you see when you look at pictures. So I'm just gonna be using my Benefit Gimme Brow Gel in the number 3. This is just the medium shade, and this stuff is amazing. This is what I use on a daily basis, and it's so easy to use. That's why I like it too, because sometimes if you don't know how to fill in your eyebrows properly with a pencil, they can look a little funky. This is really hard to mess up because honestly, I don't think you can because you just run it through your eyebrows. That's it, and I kind of go in an upwards direction a little bit, and I'm gonna let those dry. To blend them out a little bit, I'm gonna be using my Morphe MB28 spoolie brush. This is just to comb out my eyebrows a little bit so they dry exactly how I want them to look. Now to finish this face off so it lasts all day long, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This is the long lasting spray. There's 2, I believe, and this stuff is great. So if you don't want to buy this product because it's expensive to buy the full size, I actually bought the mini size. They're usually in the Sephora checkout line, and it's at least half the price, and it'll just do exactly what you need, and it does really last. So just spray this all over your face. This is definitely a product you want to dry before you take pictures. I mean, it dries very quickly, but don't just spray this and go to pictures because it will make you look oily. When it dries, it creates a really pretty matte finish, and that'll be nice again for pictures, because if you want to highlight your face, which I know I didn't do in this video today, that all depends on the overall look that you're going for. That will impact this shine that you want. So I think that that's enough shine. So personally, I think that highlighters are plenty of shine, and I want a setting spray that's just gonna hold everything together so it doesn't fade when you're dancing, when you're sweating, or anything like that. So everyone, that's it for my video today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this full face tutorial. I did not do eyes because I have eye looks that are coming. I'm gonna do a variety of eye looks. This is just one that I would do for all of the looks, and it's great because it'll really last, and that's what you really want for prom. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you find this helpful, and have a great time at prom. Be safe, have fun, and thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out for my eye videos. They should be up very shortly after this one because I want to make sure that you guys get all of this before your prom. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.